Guys, what's happening? Hope you're having a good week. So, we got some guitar tips coming to you. And this will be a little bit of a combination of the hammer-ons and pull-offs from the last guitar tips lesson, but this is going to be a little bit different. So really what I want to show you in this guitar, I guess, tips video is it's a little bit, I don't want to say it's a little advanced, but it really is going to practice, or it's really going to be good practice for you stretching and like getting your pointer finger especially in different positions. And it's gonna, again, kind of like the purpose of those hammer-ons and hammer-offs, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up top. It gives these chords, the G, C, E minor, and D, which are beautiful chords in and of themselves, but it just kind of gives it a little bit of variety, and it just kind of adds some nice sounds. So I'm just gonna play you just a couple of chord progressions. Another chord progression I like is so as you can see and as you can tell, it makes things sound just a little bit nicer, a little bit, you're adding that different note in, and that note is the high E string. So for this C add 9 chord and for the G chord, we are moving our pointer finger off, taking it all the way down to the high E string on the 2nd fret, and we're lifting up our pinky finger so we can hear it. So if we left the pinky finger on there and we moved that pointer finger down, we wouldn't be able to hear it. You would just hear the regular C chord, but you got to lift it up to hear that note and hear that nice little. So again, it's that pointer finger is jumping all the way down to the string you would normally have if you were doing just a D major chord. So it's the high E string on the 2nd fret. So it's definitely a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of you're really kind of changing your actual grip position up here. So for the C chord, I've got my thumb up here, my hand is pretty close to the fret here. To get down to it, to get this one down to that high E string, I have to really just kind of arch my hand and apply, and instead of having my thumb up here, kind of have my thumb back on the back of the neck board here, or of the fret, to be able to get to it. So play around with it. So you can do that on the C. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe I guess sometimes I just told you that I have to put my thumb on the back here, but I guess I just did it there and I didn't really change much. I probably changed it a little bit, so you'll just have to play around with that. You do the same thing with the G chord. And one thing it's nice to practice, one nice way to practice this is just to almost have your pointer finger already down in a similar position. So it's not like you're up here and then you gotta hurry up and go down to that high E string. So So it's already kind of in position there. It's just a matter of me putting it on and taking that pinky off. So the same thing with this E minor chord. You've got your E minor. You're gonna take this middle finger, and this one might be a little bit more challenging. I don't know. Some of the students who I'm working with, they can get this pretty easily. Other ones, it's more challenging. So you're using your middle finger here to get down to that high E string on the 2nd fret. So it's a little bit of a stretch for sure. And remember, you got to take that pinky finger off. So that's... So that's, yeah, you can obviously do it for the D chord too, but I think you already kind of know that. It's just your regular D sus to that D major. So when you combine some of these, you know, tips and tricks, we got the hammer-on, the pull-offs, this sneaking the pointer finger to that high E string, you can really make some nice sounds. I mean, I've always just kind of... I've just always loved that kind of E minor just to the C. You could do just some easy, I think, C to the G or G to the C progression. So break it into some bigger strumming, hammer on there. So those are a couple you can do. And just now that I'm thinking about it, there were a couple of songs that I used to play that really, you know, it's done on the piano, but if you're just playing acoustically, you can do it. So like the old song "Who Am I" by Casting Crowns. Who am I that the Lord of all the earth would care to know my name, would care to see my hurt? So that song, I don't know if that's too old school for you, some of you, but so that is just, you can really use these chords. So let me think of how they can. That's it. So that's kind of the introduction of the song, and the main kind of riff of the song. So you're just going G, C, E minor, D, and you're taking advantage. You're using all of those little slides there. So. That's one you could do, and then another one is, so you all probably know the song "How He Loves." Now this this one does have an additional finger that we're using, but just so the chords for this, G, so it goes to the E minor. And then it goes to the D and then to the C. So what you can do, we know that from today's lesson. And then if you want to get that other note in there, take off your ring finger. So, and then put it back on. So, and then it goes to the E minor. Oh. And then to the D. It's been a while since I played this, but I used to always just use this to practice some of this stuff. So again, it's G. Now ring finger comes off and then it goes back on. E minor, ring off and then on. D. That was really good, really smooth. So you're kind of doing that same thing for each chord. Until you get to the C, and then you just, you can do a little. So anyways, that's just kind of some fun tips, and not even a trick, just a different little tip for you guys to do while you're playing that kind of spices up some of these chords, gives it a nice feel, a nice sound. And yeah, I mean, the reality is I don't use these a ton when I'm playing in worship sets for acoustic, but there are definitely times that I do end up kind of throwing that in at the end of a song or at the end of a chord. So yeah, just this is good stuff for you to practice while you're working on all of these songs and all of these tutorials. See what feels right to you, see what sounds right, explore a little bit, and you never know what you might come up with that sounds incredible. So yeah, I hope that helps you guys. If you have questions on it, definitely let me know. If not, I'll catch you guys next time.